All right, let's talk about the future. Today, we're diving into a huge shift happening in global trade. Seriously, it's creating what looks like a once-in-a-generation opportunity for Indian exporters, a real chance to build the next big thing. Let's get right into it.
This is the question, right? It's what keeps every entrepreneur up at night. As the world kind of reshuffles itself, where are you going to place your bets? Where are those hidden pockets of profit that are going to separate the winners from everyone else in 2026?
Well, the answer is actually hiding in plain sight. We're seeing this perfect storm of new trade deals, a global push for more local manufacturing, and a total revolution in what consumers actually care about. And all of that, together, is creating a golden opportunity.
We've broken this whole thing down into three key areas. First up, the incredible rise of the conscious consumer. Second, India's massive leap into advanced high-tech manufacturing. And third, a surprisingly powerful niche market that you might not expect. So let's start with that first big wave.
Okay, so this first megatrend is all about products that are being driven by a worldwide demand for sustainability, for wellness, and for making ethical choices. People aren't just buying stuff anymore, they're buying into a set of values.
Now this is where the magic really happens. Look, exporting raw spices, that's a race to the bottom on price. But if you process them, turn them into high-value extracts, we're talking about the concentrated heart of the spice, and get them certified organic, you can command a 5x price premium. That's the power of adding value.
And you see that exact same wellness trend just blowing up in superfoods and beauty. The global health movement is fueling this huge demand for millets, especially when they're turned into things like gluten-free snacks. And at the same time, the whole clean beauty revolution has made Ayurvedic and herbal cosmetics mainstream must-haves all across Europe and North America.
And this is just a perfect example of that ethical consumer shift. Lab-grown diamonds, right? They are physically identical to the ones that come out of the ground, but they don't have any of the environmental or ethical baggage. And that single factor is causing a massive pivot in the luxury jewelry world, creating a huge high-margin opportunity.
And finally, as governments all over the world get really serious about banning single-use plastics, the demand for sustainable alternatives is just exploding. Products like jute bags and bamboo cutlery aren't just a nice-to-have anymore, they are becoming absolutely essential for companies in Western countries that are trying to hit those zero-waste targets. Okay, let's shift gears now. We're moving from the conscious consumer to the cutting edge of technology. This isn't just about what we buy, it's about what we build. And India is very quickly becoming a global manufacturing powerhouse in this space.
The global switch to green energy is happening, it's undeniable. And that means a skyrocketing demand for electric vehicle components. India is really stepping up to the plate here, becoming a prime supplier of critical parts like battery components and specialized motors to some of the world's biggest automakers.
And listen, we're not talking about t-shirts here. Technical textiles are these advanced fabrics that are engineered for a very specific purpose. Think fire-retardant gear for industrial safety or special crop covers for agriculture. Because they're so high-tech, they sell for premium prices, way beyond what you'd get for standard clothing.
India is also becoming a new global hub for electronics, and fast. It's not just about assembly anymore, no. We're talking about exporting finished smartphones, chargers, and those crucial components like printed circuit boards to really hungry markets in Southeast Asia, Africa, and Latin America.
And while India has been called the pharmacy of the world for a long time because of affordable generic drugs, the next big leap is already here. The focus is now shifting towards exporting high-value biopharmaceuticals and specialty medicines to places like Russia, the CIS countries, and across Africa.
So our final theme is a really fascinating one. It's a high-margin niche market that a lot of people just overlook, but it's one that has proven to be incredibly stable and, you guessed it, really profitable.
So here's the key thing you need to know. The pet industry is famously recession-proof. It's true. People continue to spend on their pets even when the economy gets rocky, which makes this an incredibly reliable and lucrative sector for anyone in the export business.
And this spending isn't just on, basic kibble. The trend is all about premium quality. We are seeing huge demand in Western countries for organic pet treats, herbal grooming products, and eco-friendly toys. It's all driven by this deep focus on pet wellness. It's a high-spend, high-margin category for sure.
All right, so we've covered the what. We've seen all these amazing opportunities. Now let's pivot to the how. What's the strategic playbook? How do you actually capitalize on these trends and win in 2026? It really boils down to two core strategies.
First, you've got to strategically use these new free trade agreements to make your exports way more competitive in key markets. And second, and this one is absolutely crucial, you have to shift the entire mindset from quantity to quality by investing in international standard testing.
And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? In the global market of 2026, meeting international quality standards, it isn't just a box you tick. It is the fundamental difference between getting a single, one-time order and building a long-term, profitable relationship with a lifelong client. So, from conscious consumers and sustainable products to advanced manufacturing and that surprising pet boom, the opportunities are pretty clear. The only question left is which of these trends are you going to bet on to build your future?